Yo, Star Creators Africa.
Pack, I like
Look, reality check. Check it. What you don't know, tell it. What you don't yet.
Hello. Welcome to episode 2 of Reality Check. And guess who we have in the house? Yung Demz.
What up?
So Yung Demz, tell us, how did you come up with your name?
Well, my first name, the name that everyone calls me by is Edem. So they shortened it to Demz when I was much younger, and then eventually became Demz. They added the Young, just to give it some, some swag. So yeah, I got Yung Demz, and the people named me that, so that's cool. Yeah.
And the people here, which is me, are going to name him Demzy because why not?
I like that.
So yeah, Demzy, what's up? I see, I don't know if you're okay with me talking about it, but I see, do you want to tell us what happened?
Oh yeah, my hand. Home accident.
Right.
Just be careful at home. Don't be too clumsy.
Can I have my name on there because I've been looking at this thing and the way it's looking, I have to put my name there. So
I actually had a feeling, so I brought a marker just in case anybody wants to sign their name.
My name is on Demzy's hand. So yeah,
what inspired you to start your music career?
Obviously when you're listening to music, at some point you ask yourself whether you can do it, because I play instruments and I was like in a band as well in high school. I just decided to try making.
You play instruments in high school?
Yeah, I play guitar, I play bass.
Right.
Yeah, so at some point my friends were like, oh, you should try learning how to produce, maybe it could be fun. And then I used to watch videos of Kill Beats, Metro Boomin, on like YouTube, and then I'll be like, okay, let me just try and give it a go. And I tried it in high school. I made a couple of beats, people were liking them, so I started writing songs too, and then eventually Yung Demz. So yeah.
okay. So you produce your own music?
Not all the time. Before I used to make all my music myself, but then when I met like other producers and started working with them, like JB, KLP Vibes, then I started to like get more people on board. So now even like my next project is just one production from me. So yeah, that's an exclusive. Yeah.
Okay, so personally, I actually enjoy listening to musicians who actually have like very, very sweet voices or are good vocalists. So do you think that to be a good musician, you have to be like a good singer? Or you have to have a nice voice?
No, I think it doesn't matter because music is very subjective, which means it's based on how the listener feels. So if I feel like Patapaa is a better singer than King Promise, then to me Patapaa is a better singer than King Promise. It doesn't matter whether King Promise has a vocal ability that surpasses him. It's just about the feeling, the sound, and how it makes you feel. So for me, I don't think you need to have like a perfect voice. I started singing like 3 years ago. And my voice is just getting used to being in the studio, so it's sounding better. But before it wasn't always like that, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Would you like for us to be the judges?
Oh, I'm kind of injured right now, so.
No, that's not affect your voice. Here's your microphone. Give us something. Come on.
Like,
guys, yeah, like them.
You're gonna have to, see bookings for that.
So. Don't worry. We'll send you. That's not easy. Just give us one line. Guys, Demzy. Demzy. Let's go. Demzy. Come on now. Demzy.
Okay, which song? Since you guys know my song so well.
I will give us a song.
What's your favorite song?
My favorite song of mine?
Yeah, that, of course.
Carolina.
Woo, guys, Carolina! That's what I did.
Oh, you guys have the song already too. Hey.
And your microphone.
Wow. Okay, but I need the crew to join in with you. You guys have to ginger.
We need you here. Hey, give it to me now. Okay. Come out. Okay. Come out. Okay. Come out. Okay.
Ginger me here, girl.
Hey.
Your body just a ginger me here. Oh, baby, come close, don't you find out where. Every side I do, mean to me that cause I'm thinking about you. Me they walk on in a bed, oh, God, make you stay. Carolina, waiting again, I go do to show my love. Oh, Carolina, yeah. Now only you are
Alright,
so I
thank
make
you.
you money.
Come on, go down. Woo! It's a target. Amazing. Demzy. Thank you so much for that.
Yes.
Now I'm happy I can smile.
Okay.
Okay, now let's talk music labels. Do you
Yeah.
feel they need to be affiliated with a big record label, like to be recognized?
I feel like this question comes like a different dimensions, because see, the purpose of like a label is to help an artist elevate their career, because they have certain resources that, you know, maybe an individual might not have, you know, money, network, reach to publications, you know, those things. And I feel like if you can do it yourself, you don't need a label. Like if you can manage that part of the job yourself. So for me, for the most part of my career, I've been independent. I still am. Yeah, so I do everything by myself without like a label. And there, even though there's some pressure, it's all right to be an independent artist in the modern day and age, because before we had to rely on the labels to do like everything. But now, because of the modern advent of technology, globalization, you know, we can do everything by ourselves on the internet. Drop a song, it goes viral, you know, and after that, that's when the labels even want to reach out and do a collaboration, you know, based off of that. So, no, I think you can do your own thing. And if a label comes in and a deal is really, really good, you know, you should take it, because a lot of kids these days, they're scared of like the label because they think that, you know, they'll get cheated because of, you know, what they hear. But it's all about contracts, lawyers, terms. And if you negotiate that well, you shouldn't have a problem. So, yeah.
So you said something about managing your career by yourself.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
Okay, well, I have a team. Even though I have a team, I don't work under a certain company in terms of like I'm signed to them, but I have my own team. I have my own company. My managers, I'm not employed by them. They're employed by me. They're my employees. So we work together as a team to, you know, get my music out there. But essentially, everything is funded by or decided creatively by me. So yeah, that's what it means by, you know, independent. So
Okay. Do you have any like projects lined up? He did music English with them before.
yeah, I did. I mentioned that I'm working on this EP of mine. I basically didn't drop music for most of this year just because of that EP. I traveled to Nigeria to go record extra music.
You had to put everything
Yeah.
the base in the big hit.
Yeah, like I went crazy for this one. So if you think you've heard anything from me, I mean that one is probably my
Anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm excited though, cause like I went back to the studio and like reworked myself. So it's always fun when like an artist tries something new and then they're just looking forward to showing it to people. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
What's the process like? You know, making music, the BTS, what goes into it? Because I feel like most people think would want to. You just get a lyric, get a beat, maybe buy from YouTube or get some guy to, you know, make the sound and you're good to go. So tell us about it. Is it really like that or is it?
Yeah. It varies. Obviously, like every artist has their own way of doing things, but for me, it's based on my moods.
Okay.
If my mood is off, I can't make music. Or even if my mood is, I'm in an angry mood, I can still make music.
Yeah.
But if it's just off, I can't make music. So the thing is with me is inspiration based. So I have to be inspired by something. Then I jump into the studio, I open up my laptop, put together sounds. And if I feel some lyrics coming up, they come. And if I don't feel lyrics, maybe it's just melodies. I'm mumbling the melodies and I'm taking voice notes at the same time. I'll write down maybe a sentence. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to, you know, make like the essence of the song, but it's just something. And then I build from there, you know. Sometimes producers send me beats, or I'm in the studio with a producer and he's playing something and I'm listening, I'm bopping my head, and maybe I'm catching like a melody or a lyrical idea based off of just life, you know. For example, like Fever, the producer is from Nigeria, he sent me a beat and I remember I was chilling on my couch at home watching like football, and instantly 30 seconds into the beat, I knew that, nah, I have to record on this, like, right now. But I didn't record lyrics. I just recorded mumbles. You've been ringing on my... I was like, oh, ringing on my line. Let me save that line. And then later, somebody called me and then they were ranting to me about, like, their boyfriend issues. So after the call, the only thing I could think about was that. So naturally, if I'm just writing lyrics, that's what will come out. You know, so it really, really depends on my mood, my environment. But I realize that when I'm in, like, a very, very nice state, I don't have to think about how to make music. It just flows. Sometimes, I remember, like, even my last song, my manager asked me for the lyrics, and I'm like, I don't know the lyrics. I have to write them down because when I was recording the song, I wasn't paying attention. I was just doing my thing, you know, so, yeah. Pretty much, I don't know. It varies. Some people too like to write before they put anything down. Some people too like to... I worked with one Deco one time, and he recorded like 6 different songs to one beat just to figure out like how he could feel comfortable, which one makes more sense to him. So, you know, it's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are quite a number of people that think that serious musicians make only albums. What do you have to see? As in, they don't drop singles. It's just album after album.
Well, that's a good question. Like I said, there's no formula and anyone can do what they want, you know, but a body of work proves that you are a musician that can stand the test of time. Because, I mean, it's nice to drop one songs, you know, get on the charts, but the reason why we do this is because we love the sound, we love the music, and sometimes you want to put together a bunch of songs that convey a certain meaning or feel. You know, it's easier for your fans to accept you when you are consistent and you can put together like you know, work that can show them where your mind is at sonically, mentally, you know, anything you want to say. But when you have like just a single, you give just one door of opportunity for people to judge you, you know, and they box you in easily. When you drop like 7 singles, they're gonna assume that this is all you are. When you have an album, you have a chance to explore even yourself as a person. So I think that if you want to drop singles,
better story.
Yeah, do you? But if you want to tell your story, you should drop an album.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Speaking of stories, I've been told that a good musician is one who is able to tell a story through his music. Is that true? Do you agree?
I'd say an extremely talented musician is somebody who can tell their story through music. Because if anyone who does music will tell you that it's very hard to be able to speak your life onto like music. It's like something that people are just gifted to do, like, you know, to just go through a very horrible day and then come back to your studio and then like be able to put it down and still make people jam to it in the club. That's different. So I do think that like storytellers have a different effect on their audience just because of how people relate to the story and how organic it feels, you know. Like, I sing a lot of love songs, so I know what it feels like when I don't sing a love song and it's real.
I love a word.
Oh yeah, you know.
Does it ask?
How you gonna
Dying to ask.
No, but like, seriously, like it feels different. Like, even the listener can tell when you're telling a story and like it's from the bottom of your heart, or like it's somebody else's story, but like you can relate to it, you know. Yeah. So
Do I always have to tell the story? What if like I just want to hit and I just jump on a train and it's making sales or something? Doesn't mean that my music is not good.
no.
So, you know, Ghanaians, like, actually there's this popular misconception that Ghanaians just love hits. So if you're here, you're always trying to talk about, I have a story. Ghanaians are not really interested in all that.
You just want to jump where
You know, the
vibe,
the vibe.
Yeah,
Give me
but-
the Afrobeat.
Well, vibes and storytelling are not mutually exclusive. Like, in fact, this is why we need to study music history, like in Ghana. Like, our music from the past that one could say made like huge like recognition of like amongst even like Western music, like OCB. The music was predominantly based on storytelling, you know, and that's just cause like even if I don't understand like the sound itself, I can understand the story, you know, because we have African sound, so it's really hard for, you know, sometimes people to interpret based on like where we're from, because it's our environment. We like high life music because we hear it all the time. But for somebody to be able to feel like, for example, Burna Boy's music in Finland, the story will connect them to the music a little closer than maybe just hearing the sound. So yeah.
Music is about connection.
Yeah, it's about feeling. And
I learned something.
like Ghanaians like to make music about like the agenda, like you know, with the lyrics. But it's just,
Agenda people.
yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel if the music is nice, I feel it. Whether it's gibberish or it's sense or plenty brothel day inside, I don't really care. You feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much. But between lyrics and sound, which one do you guys resonate more with?
I like lyrics.
Lyrical.
I like the vibes, but then
You like sweet words.
you debunk.
Talking.
Like, I mean, it's just up on the
Like, babe, this girl.
I love lyrics.
What about you?
I'm gonna have to stick with sound. I'm a very, I don't know. I feel like there's
She
something.
can't dance, so
Now we'll see after. Obviously, you play some music and
No, not here. Okay, not here. Yeah, I feel like I resonate with sound better. And for me, when I hear a song, that's the first thing that comes to me. Like, if I hear a song, I'm vibing. Okay, it's
Yeah.
cool. Then after, I can consider the lyric for everything. If the lyric, if it's touching something in there, then like, okay, I like it. You get it? Yeah.
okay, yeah. No, I think I relate more to that.
Thank you.
I'm a melody person. Like when I hear a nice melody, it just makes my hair go up. Yeah. But anyway,
Ladies, you got that. He's a melody person, so you know what to do.
yeah.
I take off your cap. I want to see your hair do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, even had your pictures.
Sure, no problem.
Good. But ever since you started your music career, what are some of the challenges that you've been faced with?
A couple of like the obvious ones. Getting funds together to put out projects, because sometimes you'll be like, I want to do something, but then the government is mess up, so the price for everything to go up. Then you don't know how to make those calculations again. So it can be a bit frustrating because I'm independent. There's no like label to back you if something goes wrong. It's your money, so if you don't execute it right, you have to deal with that. So there's that. And then also obviously, every upcoming artist deals with the issue of like support. Sometimes support might be lower on the social media side, and that might sink into your head and make you think that you're not being validated. But actually, people, whether it's 5 people or 100 people who love your music, those are still fans. So sometimes just an illusion, but it's a real issue. So yeah.
Okay, so sometimes Ghanaian mothers actually like have this perception. They don't want their children to go into the music industry, particularly because of their appearance. Hey, that's not, look at the way they dress, look at the way they... No, that's not really that's not something I want for my child and everything. So how do you deal with that kind of pressure from Ghanaians, like particularly in relation to your appearance, like your hairstyle, your fashion sense and everything, your style?
I mean, it's tough because Ghana is like very conservative, and like very religious as well. So we still are stuck to the confines of certain religious traditional principles, hair, dressing, all those things. But with me, I feel like I knew what I was getting into, because one of the most important pieces of advice I was given, even as a producer before becoming an artist, was that if you want to look the part, you have to really dress the part, but you have to do it your own way. So the hair and everything is just a reflection of how I feel and what I do, and I try as best as possible to explain that to people. At the same time, I'm also very keen on breaking like the stereotypes, because a lot of people they stereotype me in town. They see my hair, they see the way I dress, oh, you're an artist, you do this, you do that. So me, I want to keep dressing and looking like this and looking more edgier, so that they can stop the stereotype. Because people like me are here to prove that we can look like this and dress like this and be well spoken and have our music together, and just still be very decent human beings amongst like the entertainment space. So yeah, it doesn't have to always be associated with violent behavior or just fooling around or just being like a reckless person, but yeah.
Are you very active on social media?
Like half and half. I'm really active on Twitter, I'll be honest.
Your social media presence on Twitter, particular, has affected your brand success?
Yeah, I think it's gotten me to more people.
And do you think it's something that is required for artists or musicians in their career?
Yes. In this current day and age, yes, because we've passed the age where, we sell CDs and, vinyl records.
Yeah.
Now everything is pretty much on the smartphone. Kids listen to music on their smartphones. Parents listen to music on their smartphones, their laptops. So the game has changed, and if you want to get people to listen to your stuff, your best bet is probably social media. It'll save you money, it'll save you time, and you probably meet a much larger spectrum of people that you weren't, used to, like your physical environment. So I think it's very important to acknowledge the power of social media, in the artists' lives of today. So yeah.
Are you on TikTok?
Yes, I'm on TikTok.
I mean, TikTok is TikTok.
Yeah, sitting in the middle of.
I mean, I don't really have a choice. Like, my manager basically holds me at gunpoint
You should.
to make TikToks.
And how is that going for you? Is it?
Oh,
Are you one of the lucky people that when their music dropped on TikTok, it just?
I mean,
Or are you hoping for that?
no, I mean, even my song "Addicted" that dropped on TikTok, it went nuts. Like, the dancers really took it crazy. Even till this day, I'm getting videos like every day from dancers. I don't know how to do the dance. I've only done like a couple of TikToks of "Addicted."
I was learning that before I heard.
No, but I've been grateful because shout out to DWP Academy. They danced the song a few times and they just went viral. So I give them a lot of credit for what happened on TikTok with that song. So
Thank you.
yeah, I'm hoping for more of those. It's fun. So yeah.
Okay, so now down to the business parts of music. Is making money in music hard, or it has to be like hits after hits after hits before you actually see the money you really want to see?
Hey, let me look directly at the camera. See, if you're a musician or you want to get into music and you think you're going to make money short term, quit now, please, for your own sanity, because it's a long game. Like, music is not like, one stream is $1. One stream is like 0.000.13, like it's very minuscule. So I think like on certain platforms, 1 million streams is like $4,000, and that is very small because not everyone is able to break through that threshold very easily. It takes a lot to even get like 1 million now. So I'd say it does make a lot of money depending on where you're focusing, because everyone's focusing on the streaming numbers right now, but those numbers are only like a small percentage of what you can make if you broaden your horizons as an artist. Like, for example, you make a lot of money from shows. People get $400 tickets for a show, and the capacity of that stadium could be like 20,000. You do the math, you can imagine that's like a lot of money from just one show. Or like even merch, selling merch makes a ton of money for people when streaming, can add up. So it really depends. Also, like, if you're signed to a label, if your only main source of revenue is streaming, the label takes their cut. So, and your manager will take their cut, the road manager will take their cut, your engineers, whoever worked on the song. So as a businessman, you'll be wise to expand your portfolio, if you will. So yeah, it's tough to make money as a musician, but if you're smart and you get everything together nicely and you have a good creative team, you can make tons of money. So yeah.
So now I really want to know about the age limits in the music industry, because I'm sure in Ghana particularly, people sometimes think that if you are, let's say, age 40 or you're 40 years and above, people are not really interested in your music. Like, we want a fresh blood and everything. Yeah, we want to hear from the upcoming artists. They have like a lot of stuff to say.
It's only natural that people are always looking for new ears to listen to, because I mean, as the human race progresses, the younger generation is getting better at everything we do. The footballers are better now, the musicians are better now, like, they're all good. So people are always on the hunt for new sounds. But I think that your career is not spoiled if you are like 40. You still have time. It's like I said, it's music, it's a feeling. You may not be able to do things that your body was doing when you were like maybe 23, because 23 years old, you could go on tour much easier. You can do a lot of things much easier than when you're 40, but it doesn't mean that like it's completely lost. I mean, I've heard stories of people blowing at like 30, 35. This American rapper, Freddie Gibbs, he just had like his first major year ever in his career, and he's like 40 years old. So
Did he have to change his style or like?
no, he's been doing the same thing he's been doing since he started, and it's just a matter of time before somebody recognizes and give him a much larger pedestal. So I think the same thing applies, especially how things are changing in Ghana. There's more eyes here now because of different stars that have blown in the past couple of years. So I would say that I highly doubt that somebody would find it easy to blow at that age, but it's possible. Yeah.
You said you started creating music at a very young age. Is it a natural talent, or like is something you actually had to learn and consistently put effort into?
I think it's like a bit of both, because for me, whenever I make music, even when I used to play in the band, there was a system I had in my head for even reading the music or interpreting it, and it wasn't like everyone else's system. So basically what I did was I would associate music notes with the color. So instead of playing in C, I'm playing in yellow. So it helped me be able to figure out music much different from other. I didn't need to read music. I didn't need to learn how to play piano. I just have my colors in my head. So that's natural. But at the same time, I can acknowledge that, I went to a bit of music school. I learned how to play guitar, like the technicalities of it. When I'm producing, I don't produce with just vibes. Sometimes I'm very deliberate. I use like real techniques and actual like principles, science. So it's half and half. I feel like if you're trained, it's like a soldier in a war. If you train in combat, you'll go with your gun and you know how to use your head. You'll be ready for battle. But if you only know one thing, you can still fight, you can still win the war, but it'll be just much harder. So for me, I encourage everyone who can get some music knowledge in their head to do so. Because I think I even remember I was watching this documentary by this rock band, Metallica, just out of curiosity. And everyone just thinks of a rock band as like some crazy drug heads who are just in the studio doing whatever. But these guys are trained musicians, classically trained musicians. Like they went to school for this. So whether or not their appearance is brash, they're actually very, very good at what they do. And it's because they trained for it. They weren't born musicians, but after a while of playing, you pick up musical reflexes. So yeah.
So besides the delay in making the large money that you want to make when you're entering into the music industry, what are some of the other things that you would want someone who is now starting out to know? Something that is not open to everyone to see. Like, what are the little things that you struggle with? What are some of the things that happen that people don't know about that they should look forward to in their career?
I say this is the first word. Payday told me this when I sat down with him, and I also asked him for advice, and he told me this is the first one. He said, be prepared to be ignored. Yeah, just be prepared, because oftentimes like artists are really entitled and they think that the whole world should come to them, but you should be prepared to not be accepted first, because usually before something becomes really popular, especially something that's new, people disagree on it.
Yeah,
they say, I don't know about this, till eventually they're like, okay,
Accepting.
okay, I see.
So that's like the most important advice that people never give to artists. They always make it seem like if your stuff is good, when you go out there, everything's gonna be rosy. But no, I think it's just smarter to mentally prepare people for how hard it's going to be. There'll be days where nobody will retweet or like your stuff, and you have to sit with that and come harder the next day. It's just life. I think also another thing I'd say is that don't take your business side for granted. Like, chase your money. because every dime counts and every dime can help take your music somewhere. So you probably shouldn't jeopardize that part, because the thing is, if you want to be a big artist, you need to know you need to have big money. Like anything that you want to invest big in, you need to put in big money first before you can get something big out. So definitely think about that as well, you know.
So that is to be willing to take that leap. So as a musician, is it mandatory? Like, do you have to perform in front of people? Because if you're shy and, I don't know, maybe you enjoy...
Actually, no. You don't.
Okay.
Because right now, when we're at a different age, you know, there's digital artists. People who their presence is only seen musically on like the internet or, you know, on a certain space. And there's some people who don't really do shows because they have their own personal reasons for that. So there's performing artists and digital artists.
But are they making as much money as those that are actually performing? Does it affect them in any way?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it affects them per se, because like, for example, there's artists who predominantly make most of their money or like their audience from streaming. So like streaming on networks like YouTube, Twitch, you know, they make more money than even rappers or singers. And that's just because they have a different kind of audience. They're not a performing artist that you go to an arena, you go and watch a concert. No, maybe they do their thing on their Twitch and people pay to see that. So that's another way that you can capitalize on your fan base. You don't have to always go and play shows. But if you're a musician and you don't want to play shows, I think you're like in the wrong business. So
Sorry.
yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Okay, my very last question for you is, we want to know about your vision for the Ghanaian music industry, if you have one. Like, what's your vision?
My vision for Ghana music.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Well, I have a lot of hope, because so far all the breakout stars from the last couple of years in Ghana have been like really amazing people, like solid artists that we can see being here for a while. You know, people like Black Sheriff, like Amari, like Kabido. You know, it's very exciting. So I think we should just wait and be patient. Everyone wants things in Ghana to change like clockwork, but it takes years for these things to happen, you know. So take time. Once people like me are around, Ghana music has like a really big future. So, you know, there shouldn't be a problem.
So if you had the chance to write a letter to your young Demz,
Your low Demz.
you know, like people that are actually looking up to you, that actually want to be musicians too, what would you say?
Have patience. Don't base all your validation on internet comments. Yeah, use your ear. Like, your ear should guide you. If you post a song and nobody's jamming to it, you need to jam to one, you know, because you know it's correct. So once you kind of change your mindset, it will make a lot of things easier for you in the industry. You know, you will stop overthinking, and you know, all those things.
You seek validation.
Seek validation in the positive forms, but like when people say they like your music, you know, obviously that's good, but don't get too hung up on the negatives, you know, and be teachable. I think that's one thing that people don't instill in like the younger generation of artists, is that you should be teachable. I was teachable. I sat in the studio and let people sometimes show me how it was done, not in a sense like they taught me, but maybe I'll sit back and I'll just watch. And you know, emulation is just the best way to become good at something. So just be teachable, like let people show you another way to do things, you know. Yeah, and have fun, because when you stop having fun, then
It starts to feel like work.
yeah. And what's the point? Like, you know, you're supposed to be on stage having fun, you're supposed to be in the studio having fun, and you're supposed to be listening to your songs, making fun memories. So if you're not doing that, then, you know, yikes. Yeah, I think that's the best advice I'll give to younger Demz, because everything else, life would shape it. You know, I can't be the judge of that. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Demz. It was lovely having you here. Before we go, I would like for you to, you know, speak to your audience, your potential audience as well. Tell them, where can we find you on social media, or maybe there's a place where you meet up with your fans and stuff. Tell us. Talk to them. Talk to the low Demz.
Hello, gang. So thank you for listening to me today. you can reach me at YUNGD3MZ. That's the only spelling, so you know spelling like that. Before me. So it's on all socials, Twitter, Instagram, YUNG_D3MZ. So go get at me. And go stream my musical.
Stream. Make sure you stream Caroline.
Yes.
And the one that's coming, the next one. Don't you want to give us a little, a little something about the next one?
Okay.
Okay.
So the next song coming out in a few hours actually is with
Guys,
it's
we have the lucky one.
Coca-Cola. It's titled Coca-Cola with Camido and Uchebi. So it's live on all platforms at midnight.
Wow.
Guys, they had that. So by the time you guys see this, the sound will already be out. So yeah, immediately you see this. In fact, right now, pause the video. Pick up your phone. Pick up your computer. Spotify.
They know they want to.
You want to, yeah, you want to. Spotify, YouTube, where else?
Apple Music.
Apple Music. Just hop up there.
Audiomack.
Okay, Audiomack. And look for Yung Demz, Camido, who's the last person?
Uchebi.
And Uchebi, yes. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, this is Reality Check. Can I get some, applause? Yes, so Reality Check is a Star Creators Africa initiative. I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to keep saying it. Go and look for us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Star Creators Africa. This was made by us for you because we love you, we care. We want to see you do well. We want to see you do better. We want to see you make it big. Also, this was produced by 11 Space. So check us out again, 11 Space on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Yeah. Also, this podcast/show is available on Apple Music, is available on Spotify. And before I go, MCB Rentals. Thank you guys so much. Big shout out to you. This show was sponsored by MCB Rentals. They gave us the lights and other production materials. Thank you guys so much. Big ups to you. We love you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. Let all the creatives meet up here. Let us learn and, get better. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And I will catch you in the next episode. Bye. Bye.
Reality check. Check it. What you don't know, we tell it. What you don't hear, we spread it. Splendid. Reality check. Check it. What you don't know, we tell it. What you don't hear, we spread it. Splendid. Relentless.